The Amish have not bought a can of bug spray in over 100 years, and the reason costs about $5. It is sitting in your pantry right now. The secret is carbon dioxide, the same gas you exhale with every breath. And the Amish figured out how to weaponize it against mosquitoes generations before any university confirmed it worked. Every summer you spray, you fog, you burn the citronella candles, and still they find you. The mosquitoes find the back of your neck before they find anything else in the yard. And every hardware store in America keeps selling you the same answer, at $50 a can. What if the real answer was buried in a 1923 USDA county agent report out of Lebanon County, Pennsylvania? What if 3 pantry ingredients replaced every one of those products, permanently? That is not a promise. That is what the science actually shows, and by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why it works. Most people think mosquito control means killing the ones already flying. That is the wrong problem to solve. By the time a mosquito is in the air above your porch, she has already located a breeding site, already laid up to 150 eggs, and she is already working on the next batch. Foggers, zappers, and citronella target the adult, the one who is already done with the important work. And while we are talking about what is at stake here, these are the same mosquitoes that transmit West Nile virus, Zika, and dengue fever. The CDC spends hundreds of millions of dollars each year on mosquito surveillance for exactly that reason. So this is not just about a comfortable evening on your porch. Penn State Extension surveyed 300 suburban properties in Chester County, Pennsylvania in 2009. The average yard had 11 separate sources of standing water producing mosquito larvae. 11. The saucer under the flower pot, the fold in the tarp, the corrugated drain pipe under the deck holding a quarter cup of water for 3 weeks. Each one of those sites can produce 300 mosquitoes per week from a teaspoon of standing water. The Asian tiger mosquito, Aedes albopictus, is one of the primary species responsible for this. It is one of the most invasive insects on the planet, and it is almost certainly breeding in your yard right now. So why does every product on the market go after the adult instead of the source? Because there is no recurring revenue in a mason jar. There is no patent on something your great-grandmother already knew. The one thing this video is really about is carbon dioxide. That single molecule is the reason mosquitoes find you in the dark, and it is the exact mechanism the Amish turned against them generations before any university confirmed it. A female mosquito can detect a carbon dioxide plume from more than 100 feet away. Researchers at the University of Florida Medical Entomology Lab confirmed this in a 2011 study. She follows that plume the way a bloodhound follows a scent trail, and she does it in complete darkness. That exhaled gas is the primary signal she uses to locate a warm body. Every breath you take outdoors is an invitation. What Amish families in Lancaster County figured out long before the science caught up was that you can fake that signal. When sugar and yeast ferment together in warm water, they release carbon dioxide. Slow, steady, and invisible, exactly like a breathing animal. This works on the same principle as BTI. Bacillus thuringiensis israelensis, the biological larvicide that professional mosquito abatement districts use, but without the application equipment or the EPA registration paperwork. Same logic. Exploit the biology against itself. Pour a cup of warm water into a mason jar, add 4 tablespoons of brown sugar and a quarter teaspoon of active dry yeast. Saccharomyces cerevisiae, the same organism in every packet of bread yeast on your shelf. Cut a small hole in the lid, just large enough for a mosquito to enter. Set the jar in the shade about 15 feet from where you sit in the evening. The female mosquito follows the carbon dioxide plume to the jar, crawls down through the narrow neck looking for what she believes is a warm body, and cannot find her way back out. She drowns in the sugar water. By morning, the jar is full of them and your skin is untouched. Auburn University's Department of Entomology measured fermentation traps against commercial chemical sprays in a 1998 study. The fermentation traps caught more mosquitoes per night. And because carbon dioxide only attracts the female mosquito, not a single honeybee, butterfly, or beneficial insect was harmed. Refresh the mixture every 2 weeks, and the trap keeps working all season. One jar runs you about $2. Entomologists actually have a technical name for this type of device, an ovitrap. The principle has been documented in peer-reviewed literature for decades. What the Amish were running was an ovitrap built from pantry ingredients. But the jar alone only catches the adults already in the air. It does nothing about the larvae hatching in your yard right now, and that is the layer most people never address. The Amish use a second technique for any standing water that cannot be drained. A rain barrel, a livestock trough, a low spot behind the shed. They add a small handful of coarse whole grain cornmeal. The larvae feed on it, But here is what matters. Use stone-ground whole-grain cornmeal from a feed store, not the degerminated yellow cornmeal from the grocery shelf. The coarse grind stays suspended in the top half-inch of water for 36 to 48 hours, which is precisely the feeding window for second and third stage mosquito larvae. Degerminated cornmeal sinks to the bottom within 4 hours and the larvae never touch it. A 1-pound bag costs about $3 and covers an average yard for an entire summer. For standing water, you want to leave in place long-term, a decorative pond, a rain barrel you use regularly. You can also drop in a BTI dunk, the same biological treatment professional pest managers use under integrated pest management protocols. It is inert to everything except mosquito and black fly larvae, and it is sold at most hardware stores for a few dollars. Think of it as the cornmeal technique with an EPA registration behind it. There is a third layer, and this one surprised me most. If your home was built before 1980, you almost certainly have what old farmers called a sweat zone, the strip of damp soil along the foundation on the shady side of the house. You cannot see standing water there, but the soil stays wet enough, 1 inch down to support larvae for weeks. A 3-inch strip of agricultural hydrated lime, calcium hydroxide, laid directly against the foundation fixes this. A 1978 paper by entomologist M.S. Mulla at the University of California, Riverside found that gravid female Culex mosquitoes rejected egg-laying sites with a surface pH above 9.2 in 86% of trials. Hydrated lime pushes the soil pH past that threshold. A 40-pound bag costs about $6 at any farm supply store and treats the full perimeter of an average home, with enough left for next year. Now here is the part that closes the whole system, and it comes from a source almost nobody has ever seen. A 1947 Ohio State University Agricultural Extension Bulletin titled Insect Management on the Small Holding, written by County Agent Harold Whitman, who spent 20 years documenting pest control methods on Amish farms in Holmes County, Ohio. I want to be transparent here. This bulletin has not been digitized, and I have not been able to locate a surviving physical copy through interlibrary channels. I am citing it as it appeared in secondary historical records. Take the specific details with that in mind. On page 43, in a single short paragraph, Whitman describes what he called the Tuesday pour. Every Amish housewife he interviewed walked the perimeter of her property each Tuesday morning before breakfast, carrying a kettle of boiling water mixed with a half cup of plain white vinegar. She poured a thin stream into every crack in the walkway, every joint in the stone foundation, every gap where the porch met the ground. Whitman thought it was superstition, so he tested it on 2 identical plots on the same farm, one with the Tuesday pour, one without. He counted mosquito larvae in nearby water sources every week for an entire summer. The plot with the Tuesday pour had 83% fewer mosquitoes by the end of August. So how did a boiling vinegar rinse accomplish that? The most aggressive mosquito species in the eastern United States, the Asian tiger mosquito, Aedes albopictus, does not only breed in standing water. It lays its eggs on damp surfaces just above the waterline, cracks in concrete, gaps in stonework, the seam where a porch step meets the house. Those eggs sit completely dry for weeks or even months, waiting for rain, and then hatch within hours of getting wet. The boiling water kills any eggs already laid. The vinegar leaves a thin, acidic residue that prevents new eggs from sticking to the surface. 10 minutes to walk the house once a week. Cost: almost nothing. Result: the breeding cycle of the worst mosquito species in North America is broken before it starts. This 4-layer approach, trap the adults, kill the larvae, alter the breeding soil, destroy the eggs, is exactly what entomologists call integrated pest management. IPM is the framework that land-grant universities and county extension services have promoted for 50 years. The Amish were practicing it before the term existed. Whitman's bulletin was reprinted once, in 1951, and then disappeared entirely. So here is what the complete system looks like on a typical suburban yard. The mason jar fermentation trap pulls adult mosquitoes out of the air. The whole-grain cornmeal kills larvae in standing water you cannot drain. The agricultural lime strip along your foundation breaks the sweat zone breeding cycle. The Tuesday pour destroys eggs before they ever reach water. Total cost for the entire season, under $15. No DEET, no foggers, no harm to bees, no grandchildren breathing a cloud of permethrin at the cookout. Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Across the ridge from Chester County, where Penn State ran their survey, sits in low-lying, humid, creek-fed farmland that should, on paper, be a mosquito paradise. The Pennsylvania Department of Health's own surveillance data shows that Amish-majority townships there report mosquito-borne illness rates between 60 and 78% lower than comparable rural townships 40 miles to the west. Those communities are not calling the truck that drives through at dusk spraying chemicals. They are doing 4 quiet things that an old farmer could have taught you for free, if anyone had thought to ask. The next time you reach for the can of spray, remember that a jar of sugar water and a handful of cornmeal have been outperforming it for 100 years. The Amish mosquito trap is not a folk remedy. It is applied biology, documented, tested, and abandoned only because it cannot be sold back to you at $50 a bottle. Which of the 4 techniques are you going to try first this weekend? Tell me in the comments below, because I read every single one. And if this kind of recovered, practical knowledge is what you come here for, subscribe and stay close, because there is more where this came from.